Okay. Hi all and welcome to the DevLook at Planet Explorers. DevLook is a YouTube show that aims to give you a comprehensive overview of the core features of the existing early access titles. To give you an idea if you want to buy the game now, want to buy it when it releases, or don't want to buy it at all. Today we're going to have a look at the Planet Explorers version 0.752. Planet Explorers is a title by the company called Pathea. It's a small indie company and that's their third game. The first two was the iOS title, I don't remember the name, but it's basically a hidden object type of game if I remember correctly. And then they made a platformer called Drains, never played it, never heard of it. And now they made this, Planet Explorers. So it's actually a game from a Kickstarter. They raised something like $137,000 for it. This is slightly above what they asked for, so they asked only 100K. And yeah, so now it's available on Steam Early Access, and we're gonna have a look at it. Let's start by looking at the options menu. So the graphics settings are quite nice. I mean, this stuff has more toggles than some of the modern AAA titles. Sounds have separate sliders, so you can actually customize it, always good. Fully rebindable controls, and you can as well bind joystick here. Not sure if joystick would be the best way to play this game, but you can do this. Then you have some additional controls. Some of those are still, I guess, maybe debug or, you know, early access stuff, because you have this Monster IK and v0.752 count. I've got no idea what this is, but well. The game is, as I would describe it, Monster Hunter meets Starbound / Minecraft maybe. So it has 4 modes, multiplayer, and 3 different single player modes. In single player you have a build mode, which is something like a creative mode in Minecraft, where you basically have unlimited resources and access to everything, and you can just build whatever you want. You have a story mode, which is your main quest fixed planet with the NPCs and, you know, a storyline to figure out what's going on there. And then you have adventure, which is randomly generated planets that you can explore. We're gonna go with story, and I'm gonna load my save game where I have basically unlocked almost all the existing game mechanics, so that you don't get bored looking at how I play the tutorials and unlock all of that stuff. So this is how the game looks. It's a third-person game. Oh yeah, I should mention that the game engine is actually Unity, so this is, I would say this is very impressive, because it's a voxel game made on Unity with a completely changeable terrain. When I found out that it was a Unity, I wasn't, at first I didn't believe that. I was quite shocked, because I didn't thought that you can do something like this in Unity. So what is the game about? Well, as I already said, it's a mix of Monster Hunter and Minecraft, and the idea is that you get quests from these guys, so you can actually talk to him and, you know, find out some background and get the quest, but I won't spoil that for you. So let's just, I have some quests here, so I need some, let's see, do I have some murdering quests? Yeah, here we go. So 3 units of tortoise shell. I think it was somewhere here. So yeah, this is the game map, or the single player map, because as I already said, the adventure mode is randomly generated. It's really big, so as you can see, those are the places that I've been to. This is what I unlocked in 10 hours of gameplay, and my guess is that my 10 hours is far away from all the content that there is now. So developers claim that there's something like 20 hours of gameplay now, but looks like I was quite slow. So let's go find those tortoise. I think it was somewhere here. You can fast travel to the places you were before. You use meat for that. So meat is kind of the universal currency in this game. It's used for trading and you know, you get it from monsters when you kill them, and I'm not sure if you can actually use meat for anything else than trading. I haven't checked that. But yeah, let's see. So here we go. Here we have our NPCs, and I think one of them actually gave me that quest about turtles that I have to murder. So the one more interesting thing about it is that you can see the zones are differently colored, and this is a different habitat. So you actually have like small ecosystems where the monsters live. So here's, for example, plains, and here's a forest. I'm not sure what the others want because I wasn't there yet. And what I can say is that basically you cannot find the monsters who live in the plains in the forest, and the vice versa. So it's actually quite nice and interesting. So the game consists of basically three things. Yeah, so the first one is gathering resources, so you can like gather different things like plants and chop trees, and then dig ore and sand and minerals, whatever. And the second part is combat, so you can murder monsters to get the stuff from them. And the third part is building your colony. So I guess we can start by speaking about the mining aspect, or like gathering aspect. So the way that you find resources here is that you have your scanner where you can select what you want. So let's say I want some silver. So I press scan, and obviously I knew that silver was here, but as you can see, it shows on the 3D map where the resources actually are. So you can you know, you can take your pickaxe. I already dug somewhere around here. Yeah, so here's my previous silver mining shaft. So you can just go in and start digging, and just, I mean, look at how the terrain changes. So you can actually build the whole underground city here if you want. So every time you dig, you get some materials from the specific spot that you are digging in. So here is so this place is rich with silver, so I get a lot of silver. And otherwise, what I found out, it looks like wherever you dig, if there's some stones, you will most likely get copper and iron. I'm not sure if that's a bug or if that's supposed to work like this, but that's what I found out so far. So, but you know, that's your basic digging. It's not so interesting. So you can also make custom marks on the map. So as you can see, I marked silver here, some zinc here, and some oil here. But let's travel to the rock formation to find some monsters and show you some combat. So this is like, I mean, this is what you're gonna be doing most of the time in this game if you are into the questing, I guess. Because, I mean, there's a lot of quests that make you craft something, but most of them are related to killing monsters or getting something from monsters. The weapon variety is actually quite large, so you have stuff like ranging from swords and knives to like tribal things like, you know, bows and slingshots. And then you have also guns. Unfortunately, I don't have any bullets, so I cannot show you how it works, but we have bow, and I have some arrows, which are much easier to craft than bullets. So let's find someone to kill and just show you how it works. Yeah, here we go. So those are actually not aggressive, and they will just run from you. So I just shot one. So the bow is actually probably the best, or I'd rather say the most worked on weapon in the game, because if we take a sword and try to kill someone with it, so the bow gives you nice feedback on impact. There you see that splash that tells you, okay, you hit something. That's always nice to see. Oh yeah, here we go, a lot of very fast running dinosaurs. Let's try to kill one and hope that we won't die horribly. Nope, not aggro. So, and if you see now, so I actually hit him, but The problem is I don't get any feedback for it, you know, and I just died because they all aggroed me. So yeah, another thing about combat is that, well, maybe it's just me who's dreadful at it, but I kept dying a lot in this game. And then when you die, you have two choices. You can either cancel and revive at the last camp, or you can use this revive item and just stand right away back here. You as well have your companions with you. Oops, we have aggro monster here. Yep, he's dead. So we can pick up the stuff from him. So yeah, you have two companions who can follow you. They're both dead now. And here's the interesting thing about it. So you can either revive them using your revive packs, or you can wait for like 10 hours in game time, which is, I mean, not that much if you say sleep, but on the other hand, that is kind of a lot. So you usually just use the revive packs, and that just takes them back on their feet. So as far as I understood, you don't really lose anything when you die. So you can see there's like 2 resources here, or 3 resources: health, then the stamina, and the oxygen. They decided to fight again. Let's hope they won't touch me. Okay, nope, I'm friendly, go away. So yeah, so from what I've understood is that basically when you die, you only lose stamina, and that replenishes by either sleeping or eating some food. So we can take some food here. And they will probably get murdered again. Yep, they are. Okay, so whatever, let them just die. The next part is the crafting. So there's actually 2 components to the, or like 2 different systems of the crafting. The first one is this, where you basically just combine your existing materials that you gathered as wood into something that you need, like arrows. So you just press craft and you get them. So let's say I want some herbal juice to heal myself. Just craft it, and then I can just use it, and here we go, my health goes up. And the second system is much more interesting. I guess I'll just teleport from these guys to the camp here. Okay, so the second system is much more interesting. It's called the creation system, and it basically allows you to craft custom guns, custom cars, custom helicopters and airplanes. And yes, this game does have a vehicle system. So let's have a look at how it actually works. So you started by creating the blueprint. So the first one you actually created in this game is a small vehicle, which is basically a car, or I mean, you can do a motorcycle if you want. So you can use normal materials to draw base for it. So we have a nice base there, and then you can place parts on it. So for example, this is the cockpit. So it's required. There are some required parts, and then additional ones that you can place if you want to. And then so you have your rubber tires. It has a nice mirroring system, so you don't have to place the stuff several times. You can just use the mirroring system and, you know, mirror it out. I'm not very good at using it, but it works. So a few times I managed to do that correctly. Then you just place the tires. You say, okay, those are my steering tires. Then you need to export your creation. So first you have to say it. Let's say, okay, we want car. Save. Then we try to export it again, and it will tell us actually if the blueprint is valid or not. So as you can see, there are errors. There is no fuel cell and there's no engine. So we actually have to place fuel cell here, and then we have to place some engine here. So I'm not sure if, you know, not connecting the parts like this will work, because in my blueprint I actually connected all of them as in a way the tutorial told me to. But actually it does allow you to export this. but to export it, you actually need to have these parts in your inventory. So you have to have a vehicle, you have to have a vehicle cockpit, you need to have 4 rubber tires, engine, and a fuel cell. And then you get your nice new car in your inventory. So I already have one. Yeah, we have to pick that up from our camp. Okay, I don't have enough meat. Oh man. Okay, let us just sell something. So yeah, there's a trading system in Act, so you can actually, when you don't have enough resources, you can sell something that you gathered. So you have here resources. Say, okay, I want to sell. I have a lot of wood. It's not worth anything. That's not very good. Say we have a lot of marble. So let's say we sell like 100 marble. Okay, it should give us enough to travel to this colony. Yep, perfect. So yeah, and then so you can craft these vehicles to get yourself around this huge map, and at some point you get to build your own colony, which is this basically. Yeah, this is my colony. So, and vehicle as well as most of the other things or equipment in the game have durability, and you have to repair them if they break. So here we have our car. We take it back and I will show it to you. So then you have it like here, and this is the how do you call it, the thumbnail that I made for this car, so you can actually make it differently. So you just drag it out. Here we go. Here's my super crappy car with wooden wheels and additional seat in the back, so you can get on it and even ride around. You know, this one is really bad and it gets damaged every time you bump into something, I guess because of the wooden wheels. So it's quite horrible. But still, I mean, it's quite impressive, you know, that you can actually design your own vehicle, and I guess you can make something like motorcycle and, I don't know, maybe even quadricycle or whatever you want there. So there's quite a lot of parts even now, even though the game is not finished. And then at some point you get to the mission where you have to build a aerial vehicle, and I build a helicopter. So let's try to get on it really quick. Again, turn on. So here we go. So you can actually fly this thing. Yeah. Let's zoom out a bit. So this is your helicopter that you can fly around, and you can actually make a kind of VTOL, as you see. But those 2 engines that I had was not enough for a proper VTOL thing. So you can get out of it and take it back. So they, I think at the moment there's only like 2 types of vehicles available, which is like a helicopter / airplane type, and then the car. But the developers promised much more stuff like robots, boats. What else was there? Yeah, I mean, there was quite a lot of things that they basically promised, and the AI controlled robots was actually one of the things that that was reached by the Kickstarter goal, so it's quite interesting. Oh yeah, I remember. Then they promised the equipment, so you can actually make your own armor and things like this. So yeah, that basically concludes all the things about the main mechanics. And yeah, the main thing is that you have your colony, which you can control. So it must have power plant and assembly core, which are the main components where you can assemble things. Power plant requires fuel to function. Fuel is obviously coal here. Then you can have your private storage where you can keep stuff, and you can have engineering and dwelling, which is actually, engineering is for repairing, and I'm not really sure if you can do anything else with it. I haven't finished more quests to see it, but I think it should be used for something more than this. And then you have dwellings where you can actually have your follower NPCs who can work for you basically. And this is a turret, as you see, that should protect it from monsters, but since I'm already in the camp, there's no really monsters here, so I guess that's more important if you build somewhere in the fields. Yeah, so this is basically it about the features. So I think almost all of them are in the game already from what they are, or I think almost all the features that developers promised are here. Some minor things are missing, like pet system, herding system. I guess the biggest feature would be, biggest missing feature would be traveling to the moons of the planet. So, you know, it would really make this kind of Terraria-like, or Starbound-like, not Terraria, so that you can actually change the planets and see what's going on there. And I guess it would be more like adventure mode, where, you know, you have this randomly generated things. So I guess one more important thing to talk about is the update frequency. So this game has actually quite solid update schedule. They update every month, or at least once a month, let's say so. And the updates are pretty big and have a lot of stuff in them. There doesn't seem to be too many bugs in the game, so I haven't encountered anything that was like game breaking or whatever. So there was few pretty tough fights, but I think it's more related to the balance rather than to the bugs or, you know, development issues. And so maybe I can try to show you my flying backpack here. Yep, I can. So yeah, you can have these backpacks. This is like the wings, and I think there's also like a parachute and jetpack. That's what I've seen, but I haven't bought them. So it's actually quite nice. I think there's people discussing on forums that you can like use a jetpack to get very high up, then hotkey into the glider and just glide, you know, through the half of the map, which is always quite awesome. But yeah, continuing to the problems that might pop up with the game. So what are the main risks now? So basically, since the game is in a state where it has all the core mechanics and the only thing that is missing is content, and you know, it really looks like developers know what they want. There is not that many risks that actually can be discussed here. So I guess the biggest issues are the combat, because as you've seen, there's just not enough feedback to figure out if you know, if you're actually hitting someone or not. So like, look at that. Just, yeah, there's some blinking stuff. I've got no idea. I'm actually hitting him, if you can imagine. Look at the top left corner. There's like his HP. Oh, he's running away. Let's just shoot him. So the bow is the only weapon that actually gives you that feedback, which is kind of strange, you know. Okay, so he's dead. He disappeared. We got the resources. All nice. So yeah, the combat would be one complaint, but again, since, you know, this is early access, maybe by the time you are watching this video, this is already non-valid point, and combat is really solid, then just go and buy the game. And the second thing is the companion AI. So let's revive our companions. The problem I have with the AI is that sometimes it tends to do some very strange things, like, you know, getting stuck in the yeah, like this. So you can see, I mean, of course, again, it's an early access game, so you can't really critique that, but they have to solve that out, because the AI sometimes tends to get stuck in the terrain or in the trees, or especially if you take something like a helicopter, and then if it's so, your followers just basically teleport to you from anywhere. But if it's not your followers, let's say an NPC that is you took for the quest to guard him, then that might become a problem, because as you can see on the map here, the NPC is still there because it's just stuck. And from what I've understood, there's basically almost no way to unstuck it, aside from just like trying to, yeah, walk around and punch it in the face. Just go. Nope, that doesn't help. So yeah, this is like the two biggest issues with the game that I've encountered. Everything else is very, very minor and can be solved very easily. So those are a bit more complicated and, you know, would require some developer time to fix those. But again, the issue with combat is more, you know, not mechanical, but rather user interface related. So you actually have to give your users feedback on whether he's hitting or not to make the combat enjoyable. And I mean, since the combat is the thing that you'll be doing mostly here, it's quite important. So yeah, the game is available in Steam Early Access for $25 or your regional equivalent, and it's pretty solid. So if you enjoy games like this, I would definitely recommend it. And if you have friends to play with, that's probably the game to pick up. Thank you very much, and goodbye.